Hello, so I'm back again. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I find my stocks. I'm going to talk about three different websites I use when finding or researching a stock, and I hope it helps you. I'm going to make it short, not too long, but yeah, like I said, if you're a beginner, this should help because I'm going through the process of finding more long-term stocks, not penny stocks, not anything you trade with, just stocks that you can use to grow long term and to hold for years and years to come. So yeah, if you like the video, leave a like, hopefully watch through the whole thing, and yeah, subscribe if you want to. But yeah, thanks. Excuse any mess in the background if you can see it, but if not, then let's get into it. So one thing I use is FINVIZ, and on FINVIZ I can actually put in all the information that I want to find a stock. So I tend to start with the well, let me talk through it first. You have all these. You have descriptive information you can put in, fundamental, technical, or which is obviously all the information, everything, all the details you want to put in. And then down here you have the stocks. You have multiple pages, but you have everything that you need to look at. With this, when finding a stock, you can just click on charts and you can see the actual charts of each stock. And you get to see all the stocks, how they're growing. So this obviously looks like a good stock, but I'm not going to look into it at the moment because it might not be what I actually want. So let's start actually searching. So first I'll start with the market cap and I'll go mid over 2 billion because I want companies that are well established, but companies that are on the rise as well. So that's why I go to mid. If you just want established companies, go for large, and anything above that, anything above like 10 billion or something like that. But yes, I go for mid because I want those big companies. Then I go for a over 10% profit margin because I want them to at least gain profit and above like the money that that's come in and all the money that's come out, the expenses, the revenue and expensive. I want there to at least be 10% remaining, and if anything above that, so it's got to be 10% over because I want there to be that spare money left over from everything that's come in and gone out. Performance annually, this can vary, but as I know we're in a bull market anyway, I've decided to go with companies that are over 50%. I think any other time I'll go at least over 20% performance in the year because that's what I want to gain, at least around that 20% mark. So yeah, I'll go for year 50% plus. You can go for price, but I don't really go for that. It's if you want a certain price, if you want to pay below, let's say £50, $50, you just put that in. But I don't put anything because I'm happy to pick a stock and invest into it over time. So if I just want 25% of it now and then I put another 50% in like a month's time, I'll just do things like that. So with return on assets, I want it to be over 15%, and it's because I want to know that a company is still profitable on its assets, so it still generates a profit on top of the assets. So it'll be over 15%. The return on assets has to be a profit. Basically, it's simple to understand. I'm just not the best at explaining things, but yeah. So that can be over 15%. Once again, that's my preference when looking for long-term stocks. Whatever you want to look for, if you don't mind the profit return on the assets being a bit lower, then you can put that all higher. It depends on completely what you want. So next, there's nothing down here that I want. You can put another performance in, but I tend not to do that. Sector, you can pick any sector you want to. If you're looking for a specific sector, say if you're into tech, or yeah, you're just into tech, then you may want to just be in that sector, but that's up to you whether you want to do that. Next will be return on equity. So with that, I usually have it over 15%, but I like to also keep it under 50%. I don't want it to be too high. So this is basically the return on the equity of the company. So when the assets and liabilities have been, the liabilities have been taken away from the assets, you'll get the equity, and then I want them to at least be over 15% return on top of the equity once that's taken away from the net income. So yeah, over 50%, put under, over 15%, put under 50%. So analyst recommendation, I usually pick buy or better because I want to know that it is actually a buy. Volatility, if you're looking for penny stocks or something, you may want to go for that, but I genuinely don't. Industry, once again, if you pick the sector or the industry or whatever, you can choose whichever one you want to for here. You can go for things like this, so if you want it to be overbought, if you are trading, you may want to find overbought ones. Say if it's overbought at 90, you know it's going to sell at some point. Therefore, you'd click that, find one that's high, and well, that once again, like I said, that's trading. This isn't actually investing. Trading, you'd buy overbought. If you didn't want them, you'd go to oversold ones, probably 20 if you wanted it to go up, but around 30, 40, you might want to invest in it as it's more likely to grow at some point. But once again, that's more high, it's more for trading. Very low, it's more for trading. But investing, you can go for like the lower ones if you want the long term, but 50, 60 can be stable there because it could still grow. It's up to you though, depending on what you want. Next, you can click volume, so how much it's actually traded. It's up to you if you want to put this in. I generally don't. It's nothing that I actually use, but yeah. So here I then get the list of all the stocks. So there's 2 pages of stocks that I can look into. So Apple I've already got. I've got Applied Materials. I've got AMD. I've got eBay. And these, there's just loads. So depending on the price, if you wanted a higher price, if you wanted a cheap one, you just select the top and it'll click that. Usually you can click the volume and get the highest. Let me show you. If I wanted the highest traded ones, then it would be Apple first, AMD. You'd be able to invest in these. Whatever one you want to invest in, you go for that. Zoom is meant to be really good. Then yeah, that's how I find these stocks through FINVIZ. So yeah, I'm gonna have this as a short video. If you want any more videos like this, just let me know. And one more thing, when you are actually doing this, you can hover over to find out what these actually mean and what they're there for. So if I just do this, you see, so the return on assets, an indicator of how profitable a company is relative to its total assets. You just find out whatever you need to from these. But yeah, like I said, here are the stocks that I've found. These are quite long term, but obviously you don't just want to click it and buy the stock. You still want to research into the company, see what they're doing in the future. And yeah, that's all I'll show you. This is how I use this one. There's other sites I use, and I'm going to do separate videos instead on those. I was going to do it all in one, but I'm just going to do separate videos on how I use them. So if you liked it, like, subscribe if you want to, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.